Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. 3 points of returning vitality at the beginning, live streamed by my sister. In law. Crossing parallel worlds to obtain a deduction system. Anything can be deduced by a system. By deducing the stock market, finance, lottery, etc., money flowed directly into Jiang Chen's account like a flood, allowing him to achieve financial freedom early on. Gradually, Jiang Chen grew tired of this boredom and married a simple woman, intending to spend the rest of his life well. On this day, he had a sudden idea and casually deduced the martial arts secrets that existed in virtual TV. 3 points returned to vitality. To Jiang Chen's surprise, the deduction was successful. The clouds above the 9 heavens sway with the palm of one's hand. Terrifying Category 8 Typhoon, like playing with both legs as a toy. Although winter is not yet here, the cold and frosty white frost condenses in its fists. In addition, there are also 18 dragons subduing palms, 23 swords, 8 strange techniques, Tai Xian Jing, Sacred Heart Technique, Lu Su Gong of the Circulation, and Tai Yin Divine Thunder. What Jiang Chen didn't know was that what he did. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Does Auntie live at home? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Does Auntie live at home? In summer, a gentle breeze blows by. The summer temperature in the Magic City is still quite high, and there are not many pedestrians on the streets. At this moment, a hot and beautiful-looking beauty was holding a selfie stick and talking to herself on her phone. Welcome Lei Gu into the live broadcast room. Thank you, Yan Yan, for loving you for 10,000 years and giving you a dream castle as a gift. Boss has a great physique. Boss is healthy. Remember to follow everyone who hasn't paid much attention. Love you all. That's right, this beautiful woman is conducting a live broadcast. The girl's name is Lin Shuiyou, and she is a small anchor on Douyin platform. Due to her sweet appearance and high appearance, she gained a group of fans and became an internet celebrity. Today, it was also Lin Shuiyu's usual live broadcast, chatting with a group of water friends in the live broadcast room on the way. Yan Yan is so beautiful. Is she naturally beautiful? Hee, who knows if it's plastic surgery? Don't donate your eyes upstairs to society. Can't you distinguish between plastic surgery and pure nature? Yan Yan, are you an only child? Do you have any brothers and sisters? Yan Yan has such a good face. If there are brothers and sisters, it will definitely be good. Lin Shuiyou glanced at the barrage and replied with a smile. Don't say it, you really got it right. I really have an older sister. My sister's beauty is truly breathtaking. Compared to her, my appearance can only be considered an ordinary person. Upon hearing Lin Shuiyu's words, the barrage in the live broadcast room exploded instantly. Previously, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room were called Goddess Lin Shuiyou, but now they have all changed their names to Auntie. Good guy. Yan Yan's appearance is already considered very high when it comes to teasing. How beautiful is her sister? Auntie. When will you introduce your sister to me? Can you stop being shameless upstairs? I'm Yan Yan's brother. In law. You guys grab Yan Yan's sister, I'll take Yan Yan alone. Only children make choices, adults only say I want everything. Glancing at the barrage in the live broadcast room, Lin Shuiyou pursed her lips. You can save dim sum. Don't daydream. My sister won't like you. After graduating from Capital University last year, my sister started her own business and now has a net worth of over 10 million. If you want to marry my sister, let's first surpass her in value. Upon hearing Lin Shuiyu's words, the excited live broadcast room just now instantly howled with sorrow. Even if you look good, it's okay. Are you still a top student? Even if you're a top student, it's okay. Are you still a wealthy woman? Yan Yan, help me tell your sister that I really don't want to work hard anymore. Get out of here upstairs, Yen Yen, take a look at me. I can accommodate you, the child has the same surname as your sister. Hey guys, do you still have a bit of a man's dignity? Are you still thinking of being a rich woman? This kind of thing, all I can say is, please contact me. When you have time, let your sister guest star in the live broadcast room, Yen Yen. When we heard about such a perfect woman, we felt tired of watching you. This group of viewers can only have a good laugh at most. They knew very well that Lin Shuiyou described his sister's condition. Don't talk about having a fortune of millions. Even with a net worth of billions, it's probably not worth it. This kind of woman, for them, is simply the existence of two worlds, which can be viewed from afar but not molested. However, the next second, Lin Shuiyu's words dealt them a heavy critical blow. By the way, Lin Shuiyou smiled cunningly. I suddenly remembered that my sister got married a while ago. That means you won't have a chance in your lifetime. Ha ha ha, are you angry? As she spoke, Lin Shuiyou burst into a mischievous smile. She deliberately teased the audience in her live broadcast room and first revealed her beautiful sister. Then, while the audience is still fantasizing, give them a ruthless hammer to shatter their fantasies. Upon hearing Lin Shuiyu's words, the audience in the live broadcast room vomited blood. Damn it! Sister is getting married now. Did a good cabbage get stuck by a pig? Yen Yen, you're too ruthless. Don't even give us any hope. Your ideological consciousness is just too low. Yen Yen told your sister, I can be a mistress. Is that all upstairs? Yen Yen, ask your sister and brother. In law if they still lack a son. Yen Yen, what kind of immortal is your brother? In law. Can you marry your sister? Seeing the question on the barrage, Lin Shuiyu's eyes also flashed with a hint of doubt. To be honest, she is not very familiar with her brother. In law, she only knows his name is Jiang Chen. 2 months ago, her single sister Lin Shuiyou suddenly fell in love with Jiang Chen. Last month, the two in love chose a flash marriage. During this period, Lin Shuiyou only met her brother. In law once at the wedding due to busy live streaming. See. Lin Shuiyou rubbed her head, her face turning pale. I'm not quite familiar with my brother. In law, as you may say. I don't even know what he does, I just know he's very handsome. Seeing Lin Shuiyou say this, a question mark floated over the barrage in the live broadcast room. I'm just wondering when I step on the horse. You don't even know about your brother. In law's situation, so rest assured that he will marry your sister. Plastic sister's flower, stone hammer. I'm starting to be curious about this brother. In law. How did this guy get married to her sister? Isn't Yen Yen saying she's handsome? Is it possible that this person has a pretty face? I'm not convinced. Besides being ugly, poor, and having an unpleasant voice, where else am I worse than him? Yen Yen, why don't you go live streaming at your sister's brother. In law's house? It just happens that we'll meet your brother. In law. It can be seen that the audience in the live broadcast room is quite interested in Lin Shuiyu's brother. In law Jiang Chen. Coincidentally, Lin Shuiyou herself was also quite curious about who this brother. In law really was. After all, he has been married to his sister for a month and he doesn't know anything about it. It's really hard to justify it. Why don't we make a surprise visit to my brother. In law's house today? Okay. Lin Shuiyou waved her small fist and immediately made a decision. Just listen to you. Today's live broadcast is about a surprise visit to my mysterious brother. In law. I must keep a close eye on my sister and see if this brother. In law is the man she deserves to entrust for life. As she spoke, Lin Shuiyou changed the title of the live broadcast room to Shocked. Men will be silent when they watch, women will cry when they watch, make a surprise visit, and uncover the mysterious veil of my brother. In law. The audience in the live broadcast room was also excited. Rush. Today's live broadcast is interesting. Yen Yen, if you don't say hello, you won't see any inappropriate scenes, will you? Indeed, after all, newly married couples' brothers understand everything. Good guy. Then the live stream behind this will be paid to watch the content. You guys are really enough. Chapter 2. Mysterious Brother. In Law. Shuiyou was stunned. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 2. Mysterious Brother. In Law. Shuiyou was stunned. Amidst the commotion of a group of water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room, Lin Shuiyou drove directly to her sister's house. Due to the busy live broadcast, she has never been to her sister's house before. Fortunately, she still has the address for the residence, just follow the navigation guide and leave. Lin Shuiyou was focused on driving, but the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room felt something was wrong. Why do I feel a bit strange, brothers? Where is Yen Yen's car heading? Look in this direction. It seems to be by the Huangpu River. Is there any community near Huangpu River? There seems to be no residential area along the river, but I remember there is a villa area. Sleeping trough. My brother. In Law wouldn't be a tycoon, would he? Quickly, Lin Shuiyou drove to her destination. As the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room guessed, the destination is indeed a high-end villa area along the river. Lin Shuiyou and a group of water friends in the live broadcast room have seen this villa area for the first time. It can be said that when entering the entrance of this area, Lin Shuiyou and her water friends were all stunned. In a villa area in Noda, there are only 4 or 5 villas. The entire villa area is surrounded by mountains and water, with a beautiful environment. Each villa occupies a large area, with independent gardens and swimming pools, like a paradise in the world. The villa style combines classical and European styles, giving people a sense of wealth and prestige. And the luxury cars parked in front of the villa prove that the identity of these villa owners is definitely not simple. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room were all dumbfounded. There are many of them with a net worth of millions and millions, but when comparing their place of residence to here, suddenly I feel a pang of heartache. People are more popular than people. Compared to this place, my luxurious mansion is probably not as good as a doghouse. Bedroom. 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 This is too luxurious, isn't it? Blink my titanium alloy dog eyes. Yen Yen, help me ask your brother. In Law's family if they still need security. I'm going to apply. Take me upstairs. The Chinese security team, carrying a gun, is like a soldier. Good guy. This villa is probably the first one that can't be bought without billions of dollars. I checked the information, brothers. The Magic City Riverside Villa is priced at 360 million yuan per set and requires special qualifications. Even ordinary people with money cannot buy it. Looking at the luxurious villa area in front of her, even Lin Shuiyou, who is a knowledgeable anchor, couldn't help but swallow her saliva. I used to think my sister was already quite wealthy. I didn't expect my brother. In Law to be richer. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room also exclaimed. Living in a villa worth 360 million yuan, it is estimated that my brother. In Law's starting value is at least 1 billion yuan, right? Who is this mysterious big shot? Why haven't I heard that there is such a number of people in the Magic City? My brother. In Law is the real tycoon. Compared to him, our assets are probably about the same as beggars. TSK, I understand why my sister wants to flash marry her brother. In Law. If I were a woman, I would marry too. Shouldn't it be? Although my brother. In Law is very wealthy, my sister's conditions are not bad either. She's not someone who lacks money. Indeed, starting a business right after graduation is worth millions of dollars, and it is estimated that in a few more years of development, there will be assets worth over billions. The people in the live broadcast room were discussing, while Lin Shuiyou had already walked straight to the deepest villa based on the address given by her sister. The villa in front of me can no longer be described as a villa. The size of this villa should actually be called a castle. The door of the villa has a facial recognition system, and Lin Shuiyou just walked to the door when the door automatically opened. It is estimated that my sister had already entered the faces of all relatives into the system when she checked in. TSK, even the entrance is high-tech, isn't it? Sleeping slot. I work in the door and window industry, and this facial recognition electronic door system is the most high-end product in our area. This door system starts with 1 million yuan. That's outrageous. Is one of my brother-in-law's doors worth the money for my house? Is this the life of a tycoon? The doors are all in the million level. I'm sour. Brothers. Lemon fruits on the lemon tree, you and me under the lemon tree. Entering the courtyard through the gate, Lin Shuiyou finally understood what it meant to broaden her horizons. The environment inside the gate and the environment outside the gate are completely two worlds. The courtyard in front of the villa, which is said to be a courtyard, can actually be called a garden. The shape and arrangement of the entire garden are particularly exquisite, presenting a European courtyard style. And with the size of the garden, Lin Shuiyou estimated that it would take about 10 minutes to walk from the gate to the villa. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room were all dumbfounded. This kind of environment, even though they believe it is a national park, is actually just the front yard of a household. Oh my goodness! Is this a fairyland? This garden gave me a feeling of medieval European nobility. TSK, not to mention anything else, this garden alone is estimated to cost tens of millions, right? Indeed, I just saw many rare tree species, and I estimate that transplanting them will definitely not be cheap. The life of this wealthy person is really beyond our imagination. Lin Shuiyou walked towards the villa while chatting with the water friends in the live broadcast room. After walking for about 10 minutes, Lin Shuiyou finally approached the villa. But the closer you get to the villa, the more you can hear a strange sound. Whoosh! 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 The sound kept rising one after another, and the closer it got to the villa, the louder the sound, as if a plane was flying through the air. Lin Shuiyou and the water friends in the live broadcast room were all stunned for a moment. They have never heard such a strange sound before. Sleeping trough. What kind of noise is this? It's a bit scary, isn't it? The sound is a bit like a plane passing by, but my brother-in-law has a private airport on top of the villa, right? Is it okay to have a longer brain upstairs? The plane can only make 1 or 2 sounds at most, but this sound is continuous. Is that difficult? Is it because my brother-in-law raised some precious birds? Don't say it, it's really a bit possible. The water friends in the live broadcast room said this, and Lin Shuiyou also became interested. Listen to the sound, it should be coming from behind the villa. This villa should have a backyard. Let's go, I'll take you to see what exactly it is. Lin Shuiyou walked around towards the back of the villa while speaking. This villa is divided into a front yard and a backyard, with hidden paths on both sides connecting the two courtyards. The vegetation on the way down is very rich, and if you don't look carefully, you won't be able to find anyone passing by. Lin Shuiyou walked very carefully and wanted to sneak a peek around the back. But when she had just walked out of the path and hadn't seen anything clearly yet, a human figure suddenly flashed out from the camera of her live broadcast. Chapter 3. Is this the legendary voice of Breaking Through the Void? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Is this the legendary voice of Breaking Through the Void? Wow! Lin Shuiyou screamed and was startled. She didn't have the courage to throw her phone away when she suddenly woke up. Fortunately, she reacted quickly enough and immediately covered her mouth without making any sound, so as not to startle the person in front of her and expose herself. But seeing the person in front clearly, Lin Shuiyou was stunned for a moment. Why does this person look so familiar? Is this like my brother? Lol. Lin Shuiyou whispered to the audience in the live broadcast room. Not bad, the man in front of me is exactly Lin Shuiyu's mysterious brother. Lol, Jiang Chen. Is this Lin Shuiyu's brother? Lol. The crowd in the live broadcast room immediately began to use the camera to observe the man in front of them. Unlike their imagination, Jiang Chen is not the image of a serious and successful business person. On the contrary, Jiang Chen is very handsome and has an excellent temperament, coupled with wearing a pure white training suit, giving people a feeling of immortal spirit. At this moment, Jiang Chen had not yet noticed that Lin Shuiyou was peeking nearby, taking a horse stance, constantly inhaling, raising her hand, and then forcefully pushing out with a palm turn. This palm, seemingly ordinary, gives off an inexplicable sense of oppression, as if it weighs 1,000 pounds. With one palm strike, the momentum was magnificent, even the surrounding wind quickened a bit. It seems that Jiang Chen is practicing his palms here. Hua. So this is the wealthy brother. Lol. Call my brother. Lol to see more outside. Dad. Even if my brother. Lol is so rich, he's still so handsome. How do we survive? Judging from my brother. Lol's attire, wouldn't he be practicing martial arts here? I don't know, right? My brother. Lol doesn't have a very sturdy physique, is he? He's still a trainee. Is it difficult for my brother. Lol to practice the long-lost Buddha's divine palm? Lin Shuiyou quietly gazed at her brother. Lol in a hidden place, feeling a bit strange. In her understanding, the general practice process of martial arts practitioners should be a combination of punches and kicks, flipping up and down, which is very magnificent. But my brother. Lol was just repeating a palm wave motion. It's more like exercising than practicing martial arts. But soon, the people in the live broadcast room discovered some drawbacks. Not quite right. Did you notice that the strange sound you just heard was coming from my brother. Lol? And every time my brother. Lol slaps, that strange sound goes out once. That is to say, these sounds were made by my brother. Lol waving his palm towards the air. Lin Shuiyou looked at the water friends in the live broadcast room and it seemed like that was really the case. Jiang Chen's seemingly slow and powerless palm, as he swung it into the air, twisted the space in front of his palm. At the same time, there will be a whoosh sound, like the air being cut open. Lin Shuiyu's people are all dumbfounded by it. My brother. Lol's palm technique seems a bit different from that of ordinary people waving their palms. Some hardcore viewers in the live broadcast room still couldn't imagine that this loud noise was actually made by humans waving their palms. But they looked around and saw dense trees, unable to find a second thing that could make such a sound. Afterwards, the audience in the live broadcast room accepted this fact. Crouching slot. Although brother. Lol's palm technique is very simple, how do I feel that it has infinite power? You feel right. Didn't you see that the moment my brother. Lol waved his palm, the space twisted? Good guy. I estimate that my brother. Lol's palm would require at least several tons of strength. Can't you? Are you guys joking? This is a power that normal people can unleash. Don't believe it yet. To make a sound by striking the air, not only does it require extremely fast speed, but also strong force. Lin Shuiyou and the audience in the live broadcast room were all stunned. Soon, many positive viewers began to go to other live streaming rooms to promote what was happening here. More and more netizens are entering Lin Shuiyu's live broadcast room. The popularity of the live broadcast room has also skyrocketed several times, reaching the platform's real-time updated popularity chart. Soon, many martial arts experts also rushed into the live broadcast room upon hearing the sound. Wudong Chen Xinghe entered the live broadcast room. Tai Chi Zhang Feng entered the live broadcast room. Free Fighting Chin Ku entered the live broadcast room. In this era of nationwide live streaming, many martial arts enthusiasts have also joined the Douyin platform to start live streaming, and there is still considerable popularity. Seeing a group of masters enter, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room are also excited. Good guy. Master Chen is here. Hua. Isn't this Zhang Feng, the descendant of Tai Chi teacher Chen Ku? I am your fan. Masters, quickly tell us what kind of palm technique this is, why does it look so terrifying? Yeah. Is it really something that humans can do when waving their palms to make such a loud noise? Several masters are also somewhat famous in the martial arts world, but when they saw Jiang Chen's palm practice process, they all looked bewildered. They have been practicing martial arts for decades and have never seen such strange palm techniques before. Free Fighting Chin Ku. Forgive my clumsiness. This should be a kind of palm technique in the martial arts world, I really can't see it. Tai Chi Zhang Feng said, I don't recognize this kind of palm technique either, but from this screen, I can feel the terrifying power of this palm strike. Wudong Qinxing has said, I can't tell either. This Taoist friend should be an extraordinary expert. Judging from this palm technique, his strength is definitely above mine. After listening to the answers of several masters, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room were even more shocked. Even the famous masters in the martial arts world cannot tell who Lin Shuyan's brother-in-law is. Suddenly, Chinese martial arts master Ma Baoxing entered the live broadcast room. Wow! Master Ma has arrived. Oh my goodness! Isn't this the legendary first person in Chinese martial arts? Oh my! It seems that my brother-in-law is really not easy. Master Chow Ma has been attracted. Master Ma, let's take a look and talk about what kind of palm technique this is. Ma Baoxing, currently recognized as the #1 figure in the Chinese martial arts industry, is also a major internet celebrity with millions of fans on Douyin. After entering the live broadcast room, Ma Baoxing remained silent and quietly watched Jiang Chenlian's palm for a while before starting to speak. Master of Chinese martial arts, Ma Baoxing, said, if I'm not mistaken, this should be the legendary sound of breaking the void. Lin Shuyan's live broadcast room exploded instantly. The sound of breaking through the void is a well-known term in the field of Chinese martial arts. Even ordinary people have some understanding. Simply put, it is a rapid and powerful attack on the air. When the speed and strength of the attack reach their limit, they will tear apart the air and make a loud noise, which is called the sound of breaking through the air. The sound of breaking the sky, like legend, has not been reached in the realm of Chinese martial arts for hundreds of years. That's why the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room couldn't understand Jiang Chen's palm technique before. Chapter 4. Did the clouds in the sky move? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Did the clouds in the sky move? Lin Shuyan's live broadcast room exploded instantly due to a sentence from Master Ma. Many people believe that the sound of breaking through the void is only a part of novels, and even the most skilled martial artists cannot achieve it. But to their surprise, they could see this strange scene through Lin Shuyan's live broadcast in their lifetime. Sleeping trough. Sleeping trough. Sleeping trough. Long live to see you. This is the legendary sound of breaking through the void. I'm a ghost. So my brother-in-law is not only a practitioner, but also a master of Chinese martial arts. Oh my goodness. I didn't expect there to be such a reclusive and extraordinary expert in China. Thanks to Yan Yan's live broadcast at her brother-in-law's house today. Yan Yan, does your brother-in-law still accept apprentices? I want to be his closed-door disciple. I guess Yan Yan is already foolish now. The master of Chinese martial arts is actually my brother. In law. Wudong Chen Xinghe sent out a rocket. Tai Chi Zhang Feng sent out a plane. Chen Ku sent out a super rocket for free combat. In the entire live broadcast room, the special effects of gifts and various barrage scrolling wildly, it's really lively. Even Master Ma couldn't help but send a paid message. In front of such a martial arts genius who can make a sound of breaking through the air, I dare not be called the first person in Chinese martial arts. After speaking, Master Ma sent 10 super fires in a row as a gesture of respect. Hua! Master Ma is so grand. Brother-in-law, this is really a divine person. Even Master Ma feels inferior. My brother. In law is so powerful, should he come from a family of Chinese martial arts? In that case, living in such a villa would be very reasonable. See. Why haven't I heard that there is such a family of Chinese martial arts in China? Can it be a mysterious family that operates in a low-key manner? Damn it. I'm so curious about what you're saying. Yan, please tell us about your brother. In law's background. Lin Shuiyou looked at the barrage and shook her head helplessly. I really don't know. I don't have much communication with my brother. In law himself, and I know very little about his information. I only know his name is Jiang Chen. A barrage of question marks drifted past. What's going on? Do you think we will believe your nonsense? Ha! Woman, do you think I'll believe it? You just don't want to tell us. Indeed. There must be some secrets about your brother. In law. You're helping him hide them. Exactly. You have such an awesome brother. In law, wouldn't you understand clearly? Yan, you secretly told us that we promise not to spread it. Even many water enthusiasts have started changing their names and cheering on gift giving. The mysterious man's brother. In law sent out a super rocket. Kneel down to ask brother. In law for the truth and send a rocket. Yan, don't be stubborn and send out a plane. Lin Shuiyou read these IDs, thanking the audience for the gifts and making herself laugh and cry. In fact, Lin Shuiyou herself is also very curious about the identity of her brother. In law. When her sister and brother. In law got married in a flash, she also indirectly asked her sister. But I didn't expect that my sister, who always talks to me, would become particularly mysterious every time I ask her brother. In law questions. Either finding an opportunity to change the topic, or just passing a few sentences. In addition, Lin Shuiyu's live streaming work was busy and she never came to visit, which led to her knowing nothing about this mysterious brother. In law herself. Jiang Chen's palm practice is not over yet, he is still constantly waving his palms there. Lin Shuiyou naturally felt embarrassed to disturb and inquire, so she had to continue hiding in the dark for live streaming. The audience in the live broadcast room, seeing Lin Shuiyou not speaking, began to fully unleash their imagination and the discussion became even more joyful. I don't think my brother. In law looks like any hidden ancient martial arts family. Look at those descendants of Wudong and Shaolin nowadays, they don't have as much money as their brother. In law. Do you think my brother. In law would be a special forces officer from the Dragon Kingdom? The country pays a high salary to support him. I've told you before, read less online novels. Even if a special forces unit has money, it wouldn't be like this. I suspect that my brother. In law may have made money in business, or he has been a wealthy second generation since childhood. He spent a lot of money to find a hidden expert to apprentice to and learn a whole set of martial arts skills. Damn it, there really are hidden experts in the world. How could money be enough to impress them? What do you mean? My brother. In law knelt in front of the expert's door for 3 days and 3 nights, and moved him with sincerity. It's a pity that your group of people's minds don't go into writing novels. My brother. In law's close-door disciple sent 5 super rockets. The Chinese National Art Association sent 2 planes. Lightning sends 10 super rockets with 5 consecutive whips. Looking at the popularity of the live broadcast room and the number of gifts received, Lin Shuiyou couldn't help but sigh a bit. I've been doing live streaming for so long, and I've never had such high popularity before. Today is probably the peak of his live streaming career. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room are still discussing enthusiastically. Suddenly, a paid barrage slid over the live broadcast room, making it instantly quiet. Do you see if the clouds in the sky have moved? The paid barrage in the live broadcast room allows you to spend money to have your barrage dominate the screen for a period of time. But this barrage left a bewildered expression on the faces of the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room. What is this person saying? Isn't it normal for the clouds in the sky to move? It's just. If this cloud stays still, it's really strange. Brother, do you have a problem? Can you buy a paid barrage for $1,000 and let us watch the cloud? What's wrong with the clouds in the sky? It's sunny and sunny, isn't it? This brother may not be a joke. Even Lin Shuiyou looked up strangely at the clouds in the sky, but couldn't see any flaws at all. Quickly, the person just now posted another paid barrage. Look carefully, the rhythm of the clouds swaying in the sky is exactly the same as the rhythm of my brother. In law waving his palm. Lin Shuiyou and everyone in the live broadcast room were stunned for a moment, and immediately observed carefully. The cloud in the sky was indeed swaying slightly back and forth in a regular pattern, which was quite strange. Generally speaking, the direction of cloud movement is determined by the direction of the wind. Generally, the wind direction is fixed, and clouds should also move continuously in one direction. The clouds swaying back and forth in the sky do look a bit strange. Take another look at Jiang Chen, who is still practicing his palms diligently there. The rhythm of his palm movements is exactly the same as the rhythm of the clouds in the sky. I saw Jiang Chen inhale, raise his hand, and vigorously swing his palm, for an instant. A gust of wind rises. The trees around were swaying wildly. With a whoosh, the clouds in the sky moved forward at a speed visible to the naked eye. The next second, Jiang Chen exhaled, relaxed, and gently withdrew his hand. In an instant, the wind stopped, as if nothing had happened. The clouds in the sky also slowly moved back. Chapter 5. Sky, it's dark. The live broadcast room exploded. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Sky, it's dark. The live broadcast room exploded. Sleeping slot. What's the principle? Is it fake? Can it be that my brother in law's skills are so profound that he can already control the movement of clouds? Oh my goodness. You can change the direction of the cloud's movement with a wave of your palm. Is brother in law really human? I am completely convinced. Please make sure my brother in law accepts me as his disciple. I cannot accept it, my values will be ruined by my brother in law. Of course, most people still maintain a skeptical attitude. Could you please have some common sense? A person with an ID of a PhD in physics has started science popularization. A cloud may seem light, but it is made up of a large amount of water vapor that condenses together. The weight of how this water vapor transforms into water is tens of tons. Do you think a human could push dozens of tons of weight with just one wave of their hand? The audience below all agreed. Indeed, I express my belief in science, which is highly likely to be explosive. That's right. Coincidence. This must be a coincidence. No one can achieve this level. I think this cloud swaying is because my brother in law's person has a brain problem, right? This is clearly a coincidence. That's right, that's not how the practitioners practice, is it? If they can really control the clouds, then what kind of Chinese martial arts master would they call? They might as well call them immortals. Not too bad, I think my brother in law is still in the human category. Looking at Jiang Chen, who was practicing her palms seriously, Lin Shuyan's expression suddenly became dazed. Her rationality told her that it was just a coincidence, and the swaying clouds on her head had nothing to do with Jiang Chen. But her eyes told her that this phenomenon of stepping on the horse was due to Jiang Chen's palm training. There is no such coincidence in the world. At this moment, due to this issue, there was a heated argument in her live broadcast room. I think this is caused by my brother in law practicing palms. I believe in my own heart. You believe in bullshit. What you need to believe in is science. He is a mortal, not a deity. After watching the barrage in this live broadcast room, I feel like why compulsory education in China has not yet been successfully popularized. I'm not convinced. My brother in law can even make the sound of breaking through the air. What's wrong with waving his palm and pushing the clouds? Are you really calling yourself illiterate? Have you studied middle school physics? Watching the audience arguing in the live broadcast room, Lin Shuyan's head turned big. Although she is also a top student graduating from a prestigious school, seeing this situation before her, she is completely unable to explain it with her own common sense. She even doubted at one point that her brother in law could no longer be explained in scientific terms. There was a commotion in the live broadcast, and a new paid barrage was posted just now. I saw the weather forecast and it's going to rain in your area. Yen, please be careful and take shelter from the rain. Lin Shuyan looked up and saw a large black cloud floating in the distance, indicating that it was about to rain. Glancing at the speed of the dark clouds, Lin Shuyan said to the live broadcast camera. Don't worry, guys. Let me take a look at the location of this dark cloud. It will take some time for it to float over, and we can continue live streaming for a while. As soon as he finished speaking, Jiang Chen, who was practicing his palms there, suddenly raised his hand, clenched his fist, and then suddenly made a move. His fist relaxed and he pushed out with a heavy palm. This palm is particularly heavy compared to the previous one. With a palm flick, a gust of wind suddenly swept around, and the space around Jiang Chen seemed to have torn apart a bit, becoming somewhat blurry. At the same time, a crisp and loud sound suddenly sounded, giving people an invisible pressure. The huge gust of wind made Lin Shuyan unable to open her eyes and even unable to stand steadily. When she looked up again, Lin Shuyan was completely dumbfounded. The dark cloud that was slowly drifting just now, unexpectedly accelerated under Jiang Chen's palm, and now it has drifted to her head. In the live broadcast room, it suddenly became quiet for a few seconds. Subsequently, the barrage began to erupt, much more than the previous barrage. Crouching slot. Now you should believe it, right? My brother in law's heavy palm pushed that dark cloud over directly. This is definitely a human operation, not a coincidence, otherwise the movement speed of that dark cloud would never have been so fast. Pushing the dark clouds through the air with one palm, turning the world upside down. Brother-in-law, always drop a god. I think the barrage just now was good. My brother in law may not really be a human, but a deity. I have a bold idea, brothers. Can my brother in law keep waving his hand and push the dark clouds in the rainstorm and flood areas to the arid areas? Good guy. Would you rather be the chief engineer of the South to North Water Diversion Project? Nima. These sand sculpture netizens, I will be laughed to death in this live broadcast room sooner or later. Due to Jiang Chen's palm, many skeptical water enthusiasts have already chosen to believe and are now deeply shocked. Of course, there are still many netizens who express doubts about Iron Head Baby. Fake. This is definitely fake. I don't believe it. Coincidence, this time it's also a coincidence, it's called a coincidence in coincidence. The two coincidences collided. I've taken it. Are you playing with dolls here? Are you saying that Yen is probably doing a basic job of creating program effects to increase her popularity? Isn't it true? I think this is quite realistic. If it were a script, then Yan Yan's acting skills would be too good. Definitely not, even with a script, how did they instantly move the dark clouds? Wow, I remember watching a beautiful girl's live broadcast, but it turned into a cultivation live broadcast. In the live broadcast room, water enthusiasts were divided into two factions, believing and not believing, and argued non-stop. But it is obvious that those who believe Jiang Chen can move dark clouds through the air have the upper hand. Seeing is believing, and many people still believe in their own eyes. And those who don't believe it can only be said to be coincidental, with no other reason to refute it. Lin Shuiyou is constantly interacting with the barrage, explaining that she is not a script. She is also really wronged. Her live streaming style and persona are the real version of herself and her real life. Today, I had a sudden idea and came to my brother.in.law's house to live stream, but I was mistaken for someone who was working on a live script. In fact, in her heart, she basically believed that her brother.in.law could really move dark clouds through the air. After all, the chance of these two coincidences colliding is really too small. It's just that the worldview she formed after living for over 20 years makes it a bit difficult for her to accept this reality. Is there really such an outrageous person in this world? In the live broadcast room, there is still a heated debate about whether it is true or coincidental. Suddenly, another paid barrage slid across the screen. Hey! What's going on? You can't notice, is it slowly getting dark? Lin Shuiyou, who had been focusing on live streaming, looked up and realized that the sky was rapidly turning black. In a few seconds, her surroundings were already dark. At 3 p.m., Lin Shuiyou unexpectedly entered the darkness. Sleeping slot. What's the principle? Is it fake? Can it be that my brother.in.law's skills are so profound that he can already control the movement of clouds? Oh my goodness! You can change the direction of the cloud's movement with a wave of your palm. Is brother.in.law really human? I am completely convinced. Please make sure my brother.in.law accepts me as his disciple. I cannot accept it, my values will be ruined by my brother.in.law. Of course, most people still maintain a skeptical attitude. Could you please have some common sense? A person with an ID of a PhD in physics has started science popularization. A cloud may seem light, but it is made up of a large amount of water vapor that condenses together. The weight of how this water vapor transforms into water is tens of tons. Do you think a human could push dozens of tons of weight with just one wave of their hand? The audience below all agreed. Indeed, I believe in science, and this is highly likely to be explosive. That's right. Coincidence. This must be a coincidence. No one can achieve this level. I think this cloud swaying is because my brother.in.law's person has a brain problem, right? This is clearly a coincidence. That's right, that's not how the practitioners practice, is it? If they can really control the clouds, then what kind of Chinese martial arts master would they call? They might as well call them immortals. Not too bad, I think my brother.in.law is still in the human category. Looking at Jiang Chen, who was practicing her palms seriously, Lin Shuyu's expression suddenly became dazed. Her rationality told her that it was just a coincidence, and the swaying clouds on her head had nothing to do with Jiang Chen. But her eyes told her that this phenomenon of stepping on the horse was due to Jiang Chen's palm training. There is no such coincidence in the world. At this moment, due to this issue, there was a heated argument in her live broadcast room. I think this is caused by my brother. In.law practicing palms. I believe in my own heart. You believe in bullshit. What you need to believe in is science. He is a mortal, not a deity. After watching the barrage in this live broadcast room, I feel like why compulsory education in China has not yet been successfully popularized. I'm not convinced. My brother.in.law can even make the sound of breaking through the air. What's wrong with waving his palm and pushing the clouds? Are you really calling yourself illiterate? Have you studied middle school physics? Watching the audience arguing in the live broadcast room, Lin Shuyen's head turned big. Although she is also a top student graduating from a prestigious school, seeing this situation before her, she is completely unable to explain it with her own common sense. She even doubted at one point that her brother.in.law could no longer be explained in scientific terms. There was a commotion in the live broadcast, and a new paid barrage was posted just now. I saw the weather forecast and it's going to rain in your area. Yen, please be careful and take shelter from the rain. Lin Shuyen looked up and saw a large black cloud floating in the distance, indicating that it was about to rain. Glancing at the speed of the dark clouds, Lin Shuyen said to the live broadcast camera. Don't worry, guys. Let me take a look at the location of this dark cloud. It will take some time for it to float over, and we can continue live streaming for a while. As soon as he finished speaking, Jiang Chen, who was practicing his palms there, suddenly raised his hand, clenched his fist, and then suddenly made a move. His fist relaxed and he pushed out with a heavy palm. This palm is particularly heavy compared to the previous one. With a palm flick, a gust of wind suddenly swept around, and the space around Jiang Chen seemed to have torn apart a bit, becoming somewhat blurry. At the same time, a crisp and loud sound suddenly sounded, giving people an invisible pressure. The huge gust of wind made Lin Shuyen unable to open her eyes and even unable to stand steadily. When she looked up again, Lin Shuyen was completely dumbfounded. The dark cloud that was slowly drifting just now, unexpectedly accelerated under Jiang Chen's palm, and now it has drifted to her head. In the live broadcast room, it suddenly became quiet for a few seconds. Subsequently, the barrage began to erupt, much more than the previous barrage. Crouching slot. Now you should believe it, right? My brother.in.law's heavy palm pushed that dark cloud over directly. This is definitely a human operation, not a coincidence, otherwise the movement speed of that dark cloud would never have been so fast. Pushing the dark clouds through the air with one palm, turning the world upside down. Brother-in-law, always drop a god. I think the barrage just now was good. My brother.in.law may not really be a human, but a deity. I have a bold idea, brothers. Can my brother.in.law keep waving his hand and push the dark clouds in the rainstorm and flood areas to the arid areas? Good guy. Would you rather be the chief engineer of the South to North Water Diversion Project? Nima. These sand sculpture netizens, I will be laughed to death in this live broadcast room sooner or later. Due to Jiang Chen's palm, many skeptical water enthusiasts have already chosen to believe and are now deeply shocked. Of course, there are still many netizens who express doubts about Iron Head Baby. Fake. This is definitely fake. I don't believe it. Coincidence, this time it's also a coincidence, it's called a coincidence in coincidence. The two coincidences collided. I've taken it. Are you playing with dolls here? Are you saying that Yen is probably doing a basic job of creating program effects to increase her popularity? Isn't it true? I think this is quite realistic. If it were a script, then Yan's acting skills would be too good. Definitely not, even with a script, how did they instantly move the dark clouds? Wow, I remember watching a beautiful girl's live broadcast, but it turned into a cultivation live broadcast. In the live broadcast room, water enthusiasts were divided into two factions, believing and not believing, and argued non-stop. But it is obvious that those who believe Jiang Chen can move dark clouds through the air have the upper hand. Seeing is believing, and many people still believe in their own eyes. And those who don't believe it can only be said to be coincidental, with no other reason to refute it. Lin Shuyen is constantly interacting with the barrage, explaining that she is not a script. She is also really wronged. Her live streaming style and persona are the real version of herself and her real life. Today, I had a sudden idea and came to my brother.in.law's house to live stream, but I was mistaken for someone who was working on a live script. In fact, in her heart, she basically believed that her brother in.law could really move dark clouds through the air. After all, the chance of these two coincidences colliding is really too small. It's just that the worldview she formed after living for over 20 years makes it a bit difficult for her to accept this reality. Is there really such an outrageous person in this world? In the live broadcast room, there is still a heated debate about whether it is true or coincidental. Suddenly, another paid barrage slid across the screen. Hey! What's going on? You can't notice, is it slowly getting dark? Lin Shuiyou, who had been focusing on live streaming, looked up and realized that the sky was rapidly turning black. In a few seconds, her surroundings were already dark. At 3 p.m., Lin Shuiyou unexpectedly entered the darkness. Chapter 6. Dark clouds have really drifted over and left again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Dark clouds have really drifted over and left again. Why is it getting dark? Lin Shuiyou lifted her head with a bewildered expression, only to realize that the dark cloud that had just been pushed away by Jiang Chen had already fallen on her head, covering the sun tightly. The previous dark cloud, although moving towards Lin Shuiyu's side, still has a long way to go. As soon as Lin Shuiyou interacted with the barrage and chatted for a while, the dark cloud had already reached her head. What does this mean? This indicates that this rapidly moving dark cloud is definitely not a natural phenomenon. You're joking. The wind today is only 5 or 6 levels, even if it's a typhoon, the dark clouds wouldn't move so fast. Everything I found in front of me proves that this rapidly moving dark cloud was caused by Jiang Chen's heavy palm just now. Lin Shuiyu's mouth was slightly open at this moment, completely shocked and unable to speak. Although I am mentally prepared, all of this is still unbelievable. In the live broadcast room, the water enthusiasts who had just been arguing were now completely silent and unable to speak. Now no one doubts whether the movement of the dark clouds was caused by Jiang Chen. Now anyone can tell that the movement speed of this dark cloud is not right. I don't know what to say anymore. My brother.in.law is really difficult. If it weren't for the live broadcast, I would suspect that what I saw was a movie special effect. Do you call this a master of Chinese martial arts? It's completely out of the realm of Chinese martial arts, okay. It's called immortal magic. With just one palm, it can drive the air and push dozens of tons of dark clouds. If my brother.in.law hits me with this palm, I may die. It's not possible, you're definitely going to die. I feel like if this palm hits the upstairs, it's probably going to collapse a whole building. I understand. Is it because my brother.in.law worked in the demolition team that he got rich? Lin Shuiyou did not communicate with the barrage of imaginative comments in the live broadcast room, but instead looked at the dark clouds in the sky with some concern. This dark cloud is getting denser and darker, clearly indicating that it is about to rain. Friends in the live broadcast room, you have also seen that it's going to rain. That's all for today's live broadcast. I need to find a place to take shelter from the rain. I don't want to get soaked in water. Lin Shuiyou said to the live broadcast room, preparing to close the live broadcast. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room are anxious. Don't do it. We haven't seen enough of our brother.in.law practicing palms yet. Don't close the live broadcast room, imagine a solution, yen. That's it. This magical palm practice is rare in 1,000 years. Let's go find a place to take shelter from the rain first. Don't get caught in the cold, yen. Ensuring one's own health is the top priority, just live stream our brother.in.law more in the future. There are things that are said in the live broadcast room, but most of them don't want Lin Shuiyou to go live. There's no way, Lin Shuyan's live broadcast today was really stunning. Even many viewers are frantically giving gifts hoping to retain Lin Shuyan. However, Lin Shuyan did not care, although her family is not as wealthy as Jiang Chen, she is not a poor financial host. Being an anchor is more about interests and hobbies. She definitely wouldn't get soaked in the rain just for the live broadcast. When Lin Shuyan was about to put away her phone and turn off the live broadcast, suddenly, there seemed to be more light around. Lin Shuyan looked up and saw that the dark cloud that had just been overhead was quickly leaving now. On the other side, Jiang Chen took a deep breath and stood still, suddenly clapping his palm in the opposite direction of the previous one. With a palm flick, a gust of wind blew through, and surprisingly, it brought back the dark cloud that was just above Lin Shuyan's head. The sun appeared once again above Lin Shuyan's head. The live broadcast room was completely silent. Lin Shuyan also stood in place. They are all dumbfounded. Can you still play like this? No one dares to raise any doubts now. It's already this situation, and if you question whether it's a coincidence, it's probably a brain problem. Lin Shuyan and her water friends in the live broadcast room were all deeply shocked. Water enthusiasts haven't had a chance to say anything more yet. I saw Jiang Chen on the other side pass by his body, stand still and inhale, then quickly clap a heavy palm. Just like the previous 2 times, a strong wind suddenly rose, with a loud bang, the dark cloud that had just left moved towards Lin Shuyan at an extremely fast speed. Jiang Chen's palm seemed even more powerful than before. In just 2 or 3 seconds, the dark clouds had already moved to Lin Shuyan's head. Around, it quickly turned black again. Now, Lin Shuyan and the water friends in the live broadcast room are completely foolish. The speed of Jiang Chen's palm waving is getting faster and faster. Another slap in the opposite direction. The dark clouds that had just reached Lin Shuyan's head quickly drifted away again, accompanied by Jiang Chen's repeated palm movements in both positive and negative directions. This dark cloud seemed to bounce back and forth above Lin Shuyan's head. Black clouds are coming again. The dark clouds have left. Here we go again. I'm leaving again. Lin Shuyan and the audience in the live broadcast room gradually went from shock to silence. This is Nima's outrageous. Brother-in-law, why are you still playing with dark clouds here? Good guy. Is it difficult? This is the legendary secret technique. Repeatedly jumping horizontally. I'm foolish, I'm really foolish. It's the first time I've seen such a spectacle at all ages. Has my brother-in-law ever considered the feeling of being pushed back and forth in the dark clouds? Wu Yun. I weigh dozens of tons. Do you treat me like a toy? I don't want face, do I? Under the push of Jiang Chen's palm technique, Wu Yun swayed back and forth for a while. Finally, Jiang Chen seemed to have grown tired of playing. After standing still, he slapped a heavy palm and suddenly turned around, changing the direction of the palm and making it hit his side. A gust of strong wind blew by, and the dark cloud that had just been repeatedly jumping horizontally above her head was forcefully changed direction by this heavy palm and slowly moved to Jiang Chen's head. What is brother-in-law trying to do? Why did he push the dark cloud onto his own head? Is it difficult? I'm tired from practicing palms and want to take a shower. TSK, my brother-in-law is definitely not an ordinary person. He just pushed Wu Yun over to take a shower. What do you know? A person like my brother-in-law who cultivates immortals must absorb the power of nature from within the dark clouds. Why don't you say that your brother-in-law is the Thunderbolt Dharma King and want to absorb the power of lightning inside the dark clouds? Looking at Jiang Chen in the distance, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room enthusiastically guessed what he was going to do. Lin Shuyan also looked at Jiang Chen like a curious baby. Chapter 7. Dispel the clouds to see the sun. Immortal brother-in-law. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Dispel the clouds to see the sun. Immortal brother. In law. Lin Shuiyou and a group of water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room stared curiously at Jiang Chen, afraid of missing any details. Jiang Chen stopped practicing his palms and stood with his hands behind his back, his body relaxed, as if he wanted to take a break. Suddenly, Jiang Chen lifted his head and looked at the dark clouds in the sky, his eyebrows slightly furrowed. Obviously, this dark cloud is a bit damaging to his good mood. The next second, Jiang Chen picked up his hand and gently waved towards the dark clouds in the sky. These few waves of hand seem light and do not have much power, giving people a sense of inexplicability. But as Jiang Chen waved his hand out, the space above his head twisted to a visible extent. Then, a gust of strong wind suddenly blew up, like a sharp sword, charging straight towards the dark clouds in the sky. Puff! A strong wind blew by. The dark clouds in the sky seemed to have been hit by something, and suddenly a large hole emerged directly from the middle. The next second, the dark cloud quickly broke apart with this hole as its center. In just the blink of an eye, the large black cloud that had just been above Jiang Chen's head had dissipated in all directions, turning into ethereal smoke, and finally disappeared completely. The entire dark cloud has been scattered by Jiang Chen with a gentle wave of his palm. The sunlight once again shone on Jiang Chen's face, and he also showed a satisfied smile. Jiang Chen's expression and relaxed demeanor seemed like he had done something effortless, creating a huge contrast with the slowly dispersing dark clouds in the sky. The barrage in the live broadcast room exploded instantly. Sleeping trough. Sleeping trough. Sleeping trough. This is the legendary plucking clouds to see the sun. I'm so dumbfounded by Nima. With just a gentle wave of my brother. In law's palm, he scattered that big black cloud. Damn it. There's no such thing as shooting a movie like this. Can it be any further outrageous? Don't say it. Just my brother. In law's time to make a movie saved the crew special effects money. Is this really something that humans can do? I'll drop a turtle. I want to know how powerful my brother. In law's palm was just now. Could it directly scatter the dark clouds? Soon, the physics PhD who had previously popularized the weight of the dark clouds appeared again and began popularizing science. That dark cloud weighs approximately 20.30 tons by weight alone. But to disperse the dark clouds, it takes much more force than this, because the volume of the dark clouds is very large, composed of countless condensation nuclei of water vapor and impurities. To disperse the dark clouds, all these condensation nuclei need to be dispersed. Based on my estimation, this would require hundreds of tons of force. That is to say, my brother. In law just waved his palm lightly and unleashed hundreds of tons of power from the air. After such a popularization of science, the live broadcast room was completely boiling. Lin Shuiyou was also surprised and her mouth couldn't close at all. Brother-in-law 66666. Brother-in-law will always be a god. Wow. The power of one palm and 100 tons. It turns out that everything in fantasy novels is real. Isn't this too scary? It's just a gentle wave. If this brother. In law tries his best, how terrifying would he be? Brother. In law, I am an army alone. I promise Huaxia that if others don't take the initiative to attack, we will never use our brother. In law first. The barrage in the live broadcast room is constantly refreshing. Lin Shuyu's eyes were a bit overwhelmed. However, soon after being shocked by Jiang Chen's move, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room began to speculate about Jiang Chen's identity. Brother-in-law, is this too suspenseful? Who the hell is he? Are you saying that my brother. In law wouldn't be that high-tech semi-robot? After all, can human bodies really unleash such terrifying power? Have you played too much cyberpunk upstairs? It's 2021 and technology hasn't developed to that level yet. Perhaps my brother. In law traveled through time and space, coming from the future. Time travel with a hammer. At first glance, my brother.in.law is a legendary cultivator. In my opinion, my brother.in.law has at least reached the realm of a primordial baby. You're not as reliable as time travel. I've told you to read fewer cultivation novels that will take you. I understand. My brother.in.law is an ancient deity who has lived for thousands of years and has been living a low-key life in obscurity until now. Watching the increasingly nonsensical barrage, Lin Shuyan's head was lined with black lines. That's enough of you. I really don't know where you came from with so many creative ideas, your guesses are getting more and more outrageous. Lin Shuyan said somewhat helplessly, fearing that the group of sand sculpture netizens in her live broadcast room would guess for a while that her brother.in.law would become an alien. Then tell us your brother.in.law's true identity, don't let us guess. That's it. You say you're a fan anchor every day and don't even tell us this secret. Oh, did you see that, brothers? This is a woman, words are deceitful. A woman's mouth is a deceitful ghost. Tell us the truth quickly, Yen Yen. My curiosity can't be contained anymore. My roommate has cancer and is in advanced stages. Before leaving, I wanted to know my brother.in.law's true identity. Looking at the barrage in the live broadcast room, Lin Shuyan couldn't help but cry and laugh. I didn't lie to you, I really don't know. Suddenly, she seemed to have thought of something and quickly took out her other phone. Wait a minute, I seem to remember. A month ago, when my sister got married, we seem to have said a few words about my brother.in.law while chatting. Don't worry, I'll find your chat records for you. As she spoke, Lin Shuyan began to quickly flip through her phone. Hua. I knew this woman must know something. Nice. I'm really looking forward to my brother.in.law's true identity. Find it quickly. You can still forget such an important thing. I'm so anxious. As is well known. Yen Yen is suffering from old amnesia. Excited heart, trembling hands. So much anticipation. I wanted to see my brother.in.law's true face and sent him on a plane. My brother.in.law's closed-door disciple sent a rocket. Kneeling down to plead for his brother.in.law's true identity, he sent a super rocket. Lin Shuyan and her sister Lin Xiyu have a lot of chat records, and the two chat almost every day, from various celebrities to cosmetics, to bags and clothes. So finding chat records can be quite troublesome. Under the urging of countless water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room, Lin Shuyan finally flipped to the page in her memory. Found it. In order for the water users in the live broadcast room to see it at the first time, Lin Shuyan simply placed her phone screen in front of the camera. Chat records appeared in front of countless water enthusiasts, making it clear to everyone. Chapter 8. It's all about stirring up the wind and rain, you call it the body. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. It's all about wind and rain, do you call this a physical education teacher? At the moment when Lin Shuyan raised her phone in front of the camera, there was a moment of silence in the live broadcast where she was still frantically scrolling barrage. Everyone is eager to check their chat records. The chat records between Lin Shuyan and Lin Xiyu are very simple, usually only some everyday topics. There are only a few sentences about Lin Shuyan's brother.in.law Jiangchen. Lin Shuyan. Wow. Sister. Why did you get married in a flash after only being in love for over a month? Lin Shuyan. Is this speed too fast for me to accept? Lin Shuyan. I haven't even seen my brother.in.law once. Can you tell me that you have already received the certificate? Lin Xiyu. Hehe, once you meet the right person, you can get married by obtaining a certificate. Lin Xiyu. Some people, no matter how long they spend together, are just not suitable, but some people know from the moment they meet that they are the right person. Lin Shuyan. TSK, is my brother.in.law handsome? Lin Shuiyou. Of course he is handsome, but besides being handsome, he also has something more attractive to me. Lin Shuiyou. Is it really fake? Is it so mysterious? What job does he do? How did you get to know each other? Lin Shuiyou. He worked as a physical education teacher in my previous university and taught me physical education at that time. Since then, I have come to know him smoothly. The chat record ends here. It is obvious that Lin Shuiyou deliberately concealed a lot of information about Jiang Chen and did not say much. It was simply revealed that Jiang Chen is currently a physical education teacher at the university, and the two also met through this. However, the water enthusiasts glanced at Jiang Chen in front of them and found it difficult to connect this easy-to-see person with an ordinary physical education teacher. This sense of discord is a bit too strong, isn't it? Alright. I've shown you everything you want to see. Lin Shuiyou shook her phone and said proudly, I didn't expect it, did I? My brother.in.law's real identity is a physical education teacher. Are you satisfied now? You can also let your roommate leave with peace of mind, as he mentioned earlier about his late-stage cancer. The barrage in the live broadcast room drifted past a question mark. What's going on? Is my brother.in.law just a college sports teacher? Do you think we look like fools? Come on, tell me. Whose physical education teacher can summon the wind and rain, and see the sun through the clouds? My brother.in.law may be the most hardcore physical education teacher I've ever seen. Is it just my brother.in.law's kung fu to become a physical education teacher? It's too much of a waste of talent. What do you know? A physical education teacher is just a superficial identity of my brother.in.law, he must have other identities. Seeing the barrage of comments from the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room, Lin Shuiyou stubbornly said. What's wrong with the physical education teacher? They're not allowed to be stronger yet. My brother.in.law may have become a physical education teacher because his physical fitness far exceeds that of ordinary people. Do you understand? Lin Shuiyou was almost incredulous of what she said. She was also very clear in her heart that Jiang Chen was definitely not an ordinary university sports teacher. But to be more specific, she is not clear. We can only perfunctory the audience in the live broadcast room for now. At this moment, her live broadcast room has already been flooded with question marks. What's going on? Sister, I'm young, but I'm not stupid. Please respect my intelligence. You call this a bit stronger, damn it. It's not that I'm a little stronger, I think I'm just a billion points stronger. Woman. You're still my gift. I've been brushing so many gifts, but you fucking told me my brother.in.law is a sports teacher. Yen, don't you think our intelligence is as good as yours just because you don't have high intelligence? The same sentence goes, brothers, a woman's mouth is a deceitful ghost. Woo, I will never believe a woman's words again in my life. In the barrage, everyone didn't believe that Jiang Chen was just an ordinary physical education teacher. Lin Shuiyou was also helpless and could only chat with the water friends in the live broadcast room while continuing to secretly take photos of Jiang Chen from afar, hoping to see his next move. At the same time, she also casually changed the title of her live broadcast room to See the Sun Through the Clouds, Immortal Cultivation. Live broadcast of my cultivator brother.in. Law. This live broadcast, not to mention gifts, has more than doubled the popularity of the live room and her fan base compared to before. Lin Shuiyou decided to strike while the iron is hot and use her brother.in.law's gimmick to gain a wave of fans. At the same time, at the center of the distant lens, Jiang Chen had not yet realized that he had been secretly photographed by his aunt for a long time. At this moment, he did not continue practicing palms. But instead, he stood with his hands behind his back, looking at the dark clouds in the sky that he had just scattered, unsure of what he was thinking. After Jiang Chen's palm just now, the sky was still shrouded in dark clouds. At this moment, the sun was already shining brightly, and no more clouds could be seen. If you were closer to Jiang Chen, you could hear him whispering to himself. I have almost deduced this Pai Yun palm, and now it can achieve the state of effortlessly pulling the clouds and seeing the sun. However, if we want to deduce the 3 points of returning vitality, Pai Yun palm is just the beginning, and there is still a long way to go. Yes, the palm technique Jiang Chen just practiced is exactly the legendary Pai Yun palm. If Ma Baoxing, a master of Chinese martial arts who had previously appeared in Lin Shuyan's live broadcast room, heard what Jiang Chen was saying now, he would definitely be shocked. Because the technique of Pai Yun palm has long been lost in the realm of Chinese martial arts, only a little information can be found in some ancient books, and there is no way to cultivate it at all. But Jiang Chen alone, without the help of any information, was able to rely on his own understanding and promote the performance of Pai Yun palm. And after performing the Pai Yun palm, Jiang Chen also wants to continue researching and practicing other moves to become a secret technique of returning vitality to 3 points. It is not an exaggeration to say that he is a martial arts genius that is rare to see for thousands of years. The so-called 3 parts of returning to the original energy refer to the elongated legs of the wind god, the strength of the Pai Yun palm, and the yin and cold internal power of the Tian Shuang fist. Returning to the yuan refers to the collection of these 3 different types of internal forces, forming a powerful and unparalleled 3 parts returning to the yuan qi. With the guidance of the 3 points god, when there is the ability to startle heaven and earth and cry ghosts and gods, but even more powerful is that if the 3 points returning to the source qi can be merged and normalized, it can be inexhaustible and the power path is endless. Not to mention having seen this technique, many Chinese martial arts masters have not even heard of it. But Jiang Chen had already learned 1/3 of what he had understood and deduced for himself. After thinking for a while, Jiang Chen gently shook his head. Sigh. Take it slow, let's take a break first. As he spoke, he walked straight to the nearby chair and sat down, then poured himself a cup of hot tea. I closed my eyes and regained my vitality while sipping hot tea, feeling uncomfortable. Chapter 9. My brother.in.law has finally regained his powers, otherwise. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. My brother.in.law has finally regained his supernatural powers, otherwise our values will all collapse. Looking at Lin Shuyan's live broadcast room again, at first, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room firmly did not believe that Jiang Chen was just an ordinary university teacher. But Lin Shuyan had already shown them the chat records, and they were also somewhat helpless. Because they could see that Lin Shuyan only knew this information. Looking at Jiang Chen in the distance, leisurely sitting on a chair sipping tea, when Jiang Chen was practicing martial arts just now, the scene of plucking clouds to see the sun and the terrifying aura were still vivid in his mind. It has to be said that when Jiang Chen practiced his palm, the visual effect was really stunning, especially when he gently waved his hand and scattered the dark clouds. The audience has never seen such a scene before. Soon, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room began to feel emotional again. My brother.in.law has finally regained his divine power, otherwise my values would have collapsed. They are all practicing martial arts, my brother.in.law is practicing immortality. The title change of Yanyan's live broadcast room is really in line, it's really a large-scale cultivation scene. I feel like I've wasted 9 years of compulsory education. My brother.in.law's palm practice is a bit unscientific. Why isn't it scientific? My brother.in.law just pushed out hundreds of tons of power with just one palm, pushing the air through the mountains, hitting cows, and pushing dark clouds. This is very scientific. Do you call the power of a chapter of White Ton science? My brother.in.law's hand is not his, it's a living hydraulic press. Quickly, because there were constantly more water enthusiasts joining and a large number of gifts being showcased. Lin Shuiyan's live streaming room has slowly climbed to the top of the live streaming platform popularity chart during this afternoon's live broadcast. Such high popularity, coupled with the attractive title given by Lin Shuiyan. Countless onlookers who were unaware of the situation entered the live broadcast room. The number of people in the live broadcast room continues to soar. A group of onlookers entered the live broadcast room hoping to see real people practicing immortality, but they saw Jiang Chen sitting there leisurely sipping tea. What's the situation? Isn't it the agreed real person cultivation? Why did you just see this brother sipping tea there? Isn't this brother the tea immortal? Alas, Bai is excited and wondering why it's such a fun live broadcast. I really don't understand why this live broadcast room can be at the top of the popularity chart. I came in with a bewildered expression on my face. Millions of people watched him sipping tea from here in the live broadcast room. Is this kid cultivating immortality? I think he's just an ordinary person, right? Hee, this popularity chart is at the top, probably spending a lot of money. How about this hype? Seeing a large influx of new audiences, the old water friend in the live broadcast immediately helped Lin Shuiyan explain. Welcome to my brother.in.law's new disciple. Let me introduce you to him. The one who is tasting tea is the brother.in.law of Anchor Yen Yen. Welcome to the Science Live broadcast room. Please believe in science. The big brother drinking tea in front of you is our cultivator. Brother-in-law. Open your eyes and take a good look, what you will see will be the most magical live broadcast in the history of live streaming. We are all disciples of the cultivator's brother.in.law's seat. The newly arrived audience couldn't help but shudder when they saw the old water friend with a fanatical expression towards the man in front of them who was tasting tea. Looking back at Jiang Chen sitting leisurely sipping tea, I was wondering why the man in front of me had such a powerful charm. At most, he can look a bit handsome, but he is still an ordinary person. What are you talking about, ghosts? I'm here to cultivate immortals. Exactly. What's the point of watching him drink tea? Let him show his hands. Just live streaming tea, earning millions a month, right? I'm a bit confused about you guys. First, let's talk about live cultivation, and then when I come in, let me believe in science. I have fainted, my brothers. Lin Shuiyan looked at the old water friends in the live broadcast room who were all pretending to be deep and stable like old dogs, making the newcomers in the live broadcast room look confused and couldn't help but feel a bit amused. Just 10 minutes ago, this group of people were so shocked by Jiang Chen's palm practice that they couldn't speak. It will be all packed up in a moment. Lin Shuiyan knew that although his water friends were seemingly as stable as old dogs, in fact, they were all extremely panicked and anxious in their hearts, and did not recover from the shock. Watching Jiang Chen sit there, sipping tea endlessly, Lin Shuiyan began to consider whether to step forward and say hello to Jiang Chen. After all, as an outsider, it's not good to just hide here and secretly take photos of Jiang Chen. If my sister finds out, she might even get angry with me. You should know, my sister just said that Jiang Chen is a physical education teacher, clearly wanting to keep a low profile. As a result, I had a great live broadcast. It's estimated that the whole network will know tomorrow that I have a cultivator brother.in.law. Having made up her mind, Lin Shuiyan followed her live broadcast room and said, "Alright. That's all for today's live broadcast. I'll see if my brother.in.law will continue practicing palms for a while." I turned off the live broadcast to say hello to my brother.in.law. It's a bit impolite to keep secretly filming him. Lin Shuiyan's words made the barrage all anxious. Don't broadcast it anymore. It's perfect to take us together and say hello to my brother.in.law. That's right. We're going to apprentice with our brother.in.law. Isn't it? Didn't we agree on the cultivation live broadcast? I was about to shut it down when I just came in. If you haven't seen it, go find the live broadcast replay yourself. I'm sure it's impressive enough. That's right. It's not just stunning. It's so dazzling. Yen Yen, please don't broadcast it anymore. She sent it on a plane. I wanted to learn from my brother. In law and was sent on a super rocket. Kneeling down and begging not to broadcast, 5 super rockets were sent up. Just as the live broadcast room was bustling, Lin Shuiyou suddenly let out a scream of surprise. Wow! The audience hasn't figured out what's going on yet, only seeing Lin Shuiyou tightly holding onto the hem of her skirt. At the same time, the surrounding trees also began to bend slightly. It turned out that the wind had lifted the hem of Lin Shuiyou's skirt. If Lin Shuiyou hadn't reacted quickly, there would have been a live broadcast accident. TSK. What a pity. How could Yen Yen react so quickly? There's something wrong with you upstairs. What are you looking forward to? Hahaha, this wind is also LSP, blowing towards Yen Yen's skirt. Something's wrong, don't you feel that the wind is a bit strong? After this barrage, the audience in the live broadcast room also reacted. This wind does seem a bit strong. Not only was Lin Shuiyou blown so hard that she could only press down on her skirt, but the trees around her were also blown so hard that they almost bent to 90 degrees. The weather forecast for the Mordo area today shows that the wind speed is only 5 or 6 levels. The wind at level 5 or 6 is not as strong, is it? Chapter 10. You may not believe it when spoken out, but this wind. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 10. You may not believe it, but this trend may be related to our brother. In law. Watching the sudden strong wind, there was a commotion in Lin Shuiyou's live broadcast room. Not right. Not right. This wind is definitely not right. There's really something wrong with it. The wind is too strong, definitely not just 5 or 6 levels. A typhoon has just arrived at my place, and the wind speed that Yen Yen livestreamed is comparable to the typhoon at my place. The strong wind rises and the clouds fly. Stop and stop, why is this still being sung? The old water friends who came earlier in the live broadcast room immediately became excited when they saw the wind blowing together. After all, they have seen Jiang Chen take action before and instinctively feel that this wind is definitely not simple. The people who came in afterwards were all bewildered. Wait a moment. What are you talking about? Isn't it just a breeze? As for all this fuss. That's right, it seems like the weather forecast is inaccurate. There will be strong winds in the Magic City today. But how strange is it? I'm also in the Magic City, but there's no wind here. It seems like only the anchor has strong winds. Coincidentally, it's just a coincidence. Your area is quite far away, isn't it? I suspect that the people in this live broadcast room have been brainwashed, and even blowing a breeze can make them so excited. And the old water friends, one by one, are particularly proud. Believe it or not. Alas, summer insects cannot speak of ice, and swallows and sparrows know the aspirations of swans and swans. Don't show off your 3rd grade elementary school education level, these two are not a poem. Based on my brother. In law's experience of practicing poems for so long, there must be a problem with this style. Alas, when my brother. In law takes action, you will understand what goes beyond your understanding. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room are still constantly arguing. The wind around Lin Shuiyou has become stronger and stronger, making her feel a bit shaky. With such strong winds, many people who still hold a bystander attitude have noticed something is wrong. Damn it. This wind seems to be constantly getting stronger. It's getting stronger. This wind force has already exceeded the scope of a typhoon, right? Exceeding the typhoon. Impossible, right? I'm in Mordo. If there's a typhoon at the anchor's place, why isn't there any wind here? Didn't you see the anchor being blown away and unable to stand steady? The wind is definitely enough for a typhoon. Damn it. Be careful, Yen Yen. This is too scary. In the strong wind, Lin Shuiyou struggled to take out her phone and open the wind speed measurement software to see if the wind was really strong right now. Under the constant wind, Lin Shuiyu's phone was a bit unstable to hold. Quickly, the software measured the current wind speed. Level 10. The wind force is divided into 18 levels, and a level 12 hurricane is already considered a hurricane. Generally, windy weather can have winds of up to 5 or 6 levels. And now, where Lin Shuiyou is located, there is a 10-level strong wind with enough power to pull up trees and destroy houses. Everyone in the live broadcast room was stunned. Nima. It's really fake. Anchor, you wouldn't have placed a blower next to us to deceive us, would you? It seems like it's true. Didn't you see that all the trees over there were blown and bent? Good guy. Is it really a live broadcast of cultivating immortals? There's no wind in other areas of the Magic City, right? Stop talking, I already suspect that this anchor is in a parallel world with us. Danger, anchor. Don't stand there and walk towards the place where there is a house. After being reminded by the barrage, Lin Shuiyou finally realized the two and approached the nearby villa. Strange to say, as she approached the villa, Lin Shuiyou felt that the wind around her had decreased significantly. Looking at this villa again, it remains motionless under the erosion of the strong wind, giving people a full sense of security. Wow! This villa is a bit luxurious, the anchor's brother.in.law is wealthy. TSK, it's truly a villa worth 360 million yuan. With such a strong wind, it doesn't move at all. Shouldn't it be? In theory, this villa is so big and has a large windward area. Shouldn't the strong wind be so stable? The villa they spent so much money on must have a very large foundation and perfect reinforcement. Suddenly, an engineering enthusiast in the live broadcast room explained. I am studying architecture. Let me explain. The design of this villa is very scientific and can be considered perfect. Everyone is confident to see that this villa is not completely integrated, but rather has many ventilation gaps that can perfectly dissipate strong wind, directing the wind to both sides, ensuring that the villa will not be damaged in windy weather. After being explained by professionals, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room suddenly realized. I see, it seems that reading more books is still useful. Learning is useless, learning is useless. This live broadcast room is really full of talented people. Don't be fooled, after Yen Yen got close to the villa, the wind seemed to have indeed decreased quite a bit. I feel sour, is this the life of a tycoon? Even villas are windproof. Lin Shuiyou had just stabilized near the villa when she suddenly let out a scream of surprise. Hey! No! My brother.in.law seems to be still in the wind. The audience in the live broadcast room just realized that Jiang Chen seemed to be drinking tea in the strongest wind position just now. Everyone hurriedly searched for Jiang Chen's figure in the strong wind, fearing that something unexpected might happen to him. But when they saw Jiang Chen, everyone was dumbfounded. I saw Jiang Chen strolling back and forth in the middle of the courtyard, holding a teacup in one hand and carrying it on his back in the other, unaffected by the strong wind. If it weren't for Jiang Chen's clothes swaying in the wind, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room would even suspect that the wind had not blown onto Jiang Chen. Just now, the unstable wind that blew Lin Shuiyou onto Jiang Chen seemed to disappear out of thin air, without causing any impact on Jiang Chen. Surrounded by increasingly strong winds. At the center of the eye of the wind, Jiang Chen was drinking tea and taking a walk there, and this strange contrast gave people an indescribable strangeness. Seeing this scene, the barrage in the live broadcast room exploded instantly. Sleeping trough. Is brother.in.law really in the center of the eye of the wind? I can't feel any wind from his appearance. I'm so dumbfounded by Nima. Such a strong wind can't even reach my brother. In law, he must weigh at least 300 pounds, right? Can you believe it with your brain when you talk? It's just my brother. In law's figure, weighing 300 pounds with a hammer. You may not believe it, but I think this trend is definitely related to my brother. In law. Heroes have similar opinions. I also feel the same way.